Welcome to the new season, Volume 2 of Crown Level Confidence Podcast. I'm Kalia Janae, your dedicated host. I'm a wife, mom, entrepreneur, certified life coach, and motivational speaker. I've got a background in humanities, communication, and I'm so excited to be on this journey with you. This podcast is your go-to source for empowerment and to inspire your journey toward unshakable confidence and fortified self-belief. In this volume, I'm bringing you fresh conversations and uplifting stories from incredible individuals who have overcome many obstacles in their lives and still achieved greatness. Get ready to elevate your mindset, embrace your power, and shine like the star you are. Let's embark on this journey together and straighten up your crown. Let's jump right in. All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to this newest episode of Crown Level Confidence, the podcast where we're leading women worldwide to lower their stress and raise their levels of confidence. Yes, get excited. Y'all, I am honored at the privilege, and yes, it is a privilege, to bring before you a very special guest, and that is Antoinette Hammond. Antoinette, say hey.
Hey, guys.
Y'all, we've met not that long ago, but she's one of those people that you connect with and you're like, oh, we've been kicking it for years. But we met at a networking event. Shout out to Women's Resources Inc. and Network on Purpose, who, by the way, are the sponsors of this episode. Yes, more about them after. That's just a quick plug. But Antoinette is amazing. I heard her speak and I took copious notes during her presentation. And I'm going to share with you what she does professionally, but even as the woman, as the mother and the wife and the daughter, just everything in all that she is, it's just wow. And you know, I love a good, tall, fashion-forward woman. Now, this is an audio podcast and you can't see what I see, but I'm telling you, you click the description and you start following her and you see where she's at, you're like, oh my gosh, I'll listen to anything she has to say. Yes, you will. So, without further ado, let me tell you a little bit about Antoinette. Antoinette is a dynamic woman who believes that everything begins with an idea. Whether it's launching a business, turning a hobby into something more, or sharing a creative project with the world, she emphasizes that the way you tell your story online can make all the difference. As a wife, mom, and business owner, Antoinette wears many hats, as most of us do. She's constantly adapting to the ever-changing landscape of social media trends. She's here to share her expertise on navigating each new step and change like a pro. Y'all, come on, give it up. We're not in the studio yet, but if you were, you'd be clapping and standing and all the things for Antoinette Hammond.
I'll clap.
Yes. Hey, listen, we are not ashamed to clap for ourselves, Antoinette, so you're in great company. Most oftentimes we end up doing it anyway. So, I mean, that was just a tip of the iceberg when it comes to you and who you are and what you do and how you serve, right? We didn't even really tap into how you are in service, and that's how I met you. Being so generous of your time to lead other business owners into really being more mindful as to how they represent themselves and being truthful. You know, you didn't pull the punches. You let us have it that day.
I tried to.
Yeah, no, it was great. It's things that people need to hear, right? There's no point in sugarcoating. You can't sugarcoat your way to success, right? Like, you've got to accept those hard truths. So, you know, your bio, I mentioned a little bit about the importance of storytelling in business. Can you share just a couple of, tips on how to effectively tell a business story online?
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of one ththing I'm really passionate about. So, today, if you think of all of the platforms that we have, where it's Facebook, where it's Instagram, where it's Snapchat, X, everything that you have, all of the audiences and all of the followers and all of your friends out there, if they are following a brand or a person or a friend, they're following you because of the content that you're putting out, and it's something that they feel is relevant to their lives or will add value to their lives, or something that they can keep up with. So if you think about it from a personal perspective and not even if you don't business in there, people are following their friends because they want to see what the baby is doing. And then they want to see when the baby goes to school. And then they want to see when the baby starts walking. Or, I guess gets their first book bag, or something like that. And it kind of grows on. So as a business owner, you essentially have to do the same thing to build that loyalty with new audience and with your current. They are going to be loyal to a brand, to a company, to a product, to a service, because they feel like, or if they feel like they've been through something and they understand their story and they kind of have an idea of where you're going, they're like, okay, I'm more likely to stick over here with Clee's podcast versus doing some new person's podcast because I know her. I feel like we're friends, even though we've never met. Like I listen to her all the time. She's my girl. I turn her on when I'm riding to the store, to work or whatever. And being able to do things like that, stuff that they can look forward to, that is what business owners should think about when they're creating content. So whether it's your website, whether you're posting a reel, whether you're doing a static post, you don't want every single post to just focus on, hey, buy this. Hey, listen to this. Hey, I have this available. Hey, this is coming up. Hey, why don't you follow me? Like, it's just a lot that can overwhelm. Exactly, can overwhelm people. So you want to make sure that you're telling a story that is something that people want to stick with, that people want to stay involved with, that people aren't going to want to turn off their notifications when they see your business profile come across their feed. That's the whole idea behind being able to effectively market your business in the digital landscape versus just throwing stuff out there and saying, oh, I'm not getting any views, I'm not doing anything. You have to have a strategy. And a big part of that strategy is being able to sell your business's story to that ever-growing, changing digital landscape that we are all loving right now in 2024.
Yes. Absolutely. So, okay, you've given us a quick taste of, your expertise and, the value for the business owner to put those things into practice. I wanted to start there so people could say, oh, okay, she knows what she's talking about. Now let's kind of go backwards a little bit. How did you even get into this? Like, why did this become so important to you to decide to make a business and a career out of this?
So just to be completely frank with you, the basis of my education is actually in early childhood. And so I taught pre-K for about 4.5, 5 years.
Wow.
And so that's where the bubbly, upbeat, I can make connections and relationships with people because, as you know, mom of littles, the place that you put your child, during the day, whether it's educating them or whatever, you want to have some sort of relationship with that teacher, educator, school, whatever. Like, okay, I'm confident that one person is here for 8 hours or more. This person or facility is going to love my children the same way I do, and I should feel very confident. So that is the basis of what I am all around. And even in my business now, I make connections with people and I want them to get to know me. I want them to feel confident what we're going to do for them, what we're going to be able to provide for them. But then also, we always have that little thing of saying that, oh, just think of us as another employee of X. And so when we do it that way, it builds, like I said, it's building that connection, it's building that story. Everything is about relationships. And so because I have that background, I decided to go back to an MBA because I actually wanted to open up my own children care business. And I felt like you probably need to know a little bit about business before you just go, get a business loan and some kids and stuff out here. And so went to school, I got my MBA, and one of the first classes that I had was in international marketing. And I fell to feet, like just jumped all the way in. It was absolutely everything I love about Yes, understanding how to get your products or service or business across. And so I did this, at an international level. And once, of course, going through getting my MBA, one of the mothers at the child care center I was working, and she owned a PR and marketing firm. And he said, "Hey, will you come and intern? Just for the summer, I can give you some experience to help." So I was like, "Of course." So that internship turned into a 6-year connection, and we're actually ended up running the office the last 3 years that I was there, and being the full office manager and all the accounts and all the things of that nature. And so the reason why I left is because I got pregnant. So in this field that I was in, we're in the position, we had to travel a lot. We had to do a lot of activation, like we were doing things like West and like Coachella events and like Heels activations and partnerships with Levi and all these kind of things. It required us to move around, but it also required us to be on our feet a lot and to work crazy hours. Like there was no 8 to 5. And my husband at the time was a police officer, and I did not want to have my baby girl basically never see her parent. So we decided that I would be doing the step back. And then after she got here and all of her glory and beautifulness, I was bored, Cleo. Like
this is great, but
hands down. And so when I found myself looking into her crib while she was sleeping, and I was just like, la 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 la, like they're gonna wake up. Like people say, and you gotta sleep when the baby sleeps, and I'm like, this baby is sleeping like 14 to 17 hours a day.
Right. Yeah.
One of my friends, she, or I guess she's more like a mother figure. Yeah. She knew a child care center that needed help with their social media. And she said, "Oh, like Antoinette, you do graphics and design and things like that." And I said, "Yeah, I can do it." And so I partnered with them, and they didn't need anybody in house because they didn't have the space. So that's great for me because I didn't want to be in house. So I started freelancing, creating like social media, going to like their child care center to get them photos, like finding them to post videos and carousels. And basically what happened was more child care centers what they were putting out, and they were like, "Oh, like what program are you using, or what company are you using?" And so then she was like, "Oh, like I use Antoinette," and it literally just kind of grew into that. And so from there, it went into different kind of businesses and industries, and it just grew of that nature. So I was like, "Hey, I should probably make this legal and get the LLC, before the IRS started coming at me like, where's this money coming from?" So
right.
That is the backstory of how Hammond Marketing became what it is today.
Wow, that's so amazing. And it's powerful how these little people we create really change the trajectory of what we have going on. I always tell my family, my husband included, like, I was a whole me before there was a you.
Yes.
And I think it's easy to like forget that. Yeah, I was a whole me before there was a you. And I'm mindful, my husband was a whole him before there was me. So it's not a one-way thing.
Mm-hmm.
But, when it comes to my kids, like yesterday, we went to church, as we, normally do. And we all went to sleep after. It was like the post-church nap. We get home, we're like, yes, they're cozy. And then kind of like what you were saying about your daughter, I was kind of like, well, I'm rested and everyone else is still asleep. But I was like, I gotta go. There's some stuff I want to do, and not feel guilty about it. Like my family knows I love them. They know I take care of them. They're well fed. They're well clothed. They have great life experiences. And I'm able to provide that kind of environment and to do those things because I take care of myself. And it is, beyond the whole, like my hair is done, my nails are done, my massage is like, I get all that stuff to do. But like on the inside, giving myself the permission to be like, what is it that I need to do in this moment? And right now it's not holding you because you're asleep. You don't even know I'm holding you.
That's a big deal. A big, big deal. It's just remembering, just like, hey, I gotta remember me, and I gotta remember to like take that time, because they are not going to be as amazing as they could be if I'm only a shell of myself. So my husband teaches me, and he's like, "Oh, that's just your excuse. You want to go shop, or you want to go like get your nails or something done." And so I just have to remind him, like, I don't need an excuse. Like, this is, you want me to do this.
Yeah.
You want me to be like, because if I'm not, I'm really not going to be happy.
Right. It's in all of our best interest.
Right.
Absolutely. And so we naturally, the kind of audience I attract, we do have a lot of business owners, women in business, who listen to this podcast. And, what would you say to encourage them? Now, they may have a business in their heart, or they may have a business in reality, but as someone who has now, I would consider you to have mastered it. I would never put the pressure on you to say you're perfect, but I feel confident to say that you've got a good grip on how you're able to grow your business and growing your family at the same time. So what are some maybe words of encouragement or some advice that you would give someone to say, hey, it's really okay, like you can do this too?
The biggest thing I will say is, well, I guess first I will say I would never want to say I've mastered something, because I feel like I'm a lifelong learner. Things are constantly changing, especially with digital marketing. There's always a new app. There's always a new platform. There's always a new way of creating. There's just, everyone now is creative and coming out with more things. So one thing we really put ourselves on here at Hammond Marketing is staying up to date on the latest strategies, on the latest trends, on the opportunities. And so any words of encouragement I would have or just a business owner who, if they have it together, or it's an idea right now, is don't downplay yourself. So a big thing I had to get over was when I started my company, we started down in Statesboro, Georgia. And so if you guys don't know where that is, that is where Georgia Southern University is located. It's about 40 minutes away from Savannah, about an hour away from Jackson, from the coast. And so we loved it down there. But it's also a very small town. So I had the mentality, that's where my business started, was I was putting myself in a box, saying that I can only do certain things, or, because I didn't have a team of like 10 people. And at one time it was just a team of me. I can't do these certain deals, or I won't be able to manage this or handle this, or like I shouldn't charge this amount because like it's just coming from me. And so what I had to learn was that, one, I am more than capable and able to basically run with the big dogs, if you for lack of better words. And also, I can probably offer you a better quality of service than any larger firm, because you actually have access to me. So yes, someone on my team may get with you, get you onboarded and things like that. But if your website crashes, you're not on the phone with like a technical analyst, you trying to figure out who your account is with and all the information. You're probably going to get routed straight to me, and I'm going to go in and see exactly what's going on with your website and get it running and backed up, by the end of the day. And so being able to offer that level of service is something that I had to understand that, hey, I can do it. So anybody out there thinking like, I probably can't do this, or this might be too much for me, or anything, like it's not. Just make time, make a plan, and just stick with it. And understand that even though you make a plan and something may fall off, it doesn't mean that everything has to stop. It just means that you need to revise your plan. That is the best thing that I have learned, and the biggest thing I will always tell anyone that is going into, doing their business and trying to grow it. Just stick with it.
Yeah. And that's really transcendent. obviously the show is Crown Level Confidence, right? And I have this philosophy that there are different categories and levels to confidence, and especially as women and all the things that we do. But what you just said is transcendent, right? Okay, you've made a plan, you're going to have a hiccup, and you have to stick to it. That's something that I always teach. I say in my goal setting coaching that I do in my consultations, I'm like, hey, you made a plan. Congratulations. That's a big deal. A lot of people don't even make plans. Now I need you to know it's going to get challenged, and that's okay. It doesn't mean, oh, I'm not supposed to be doing this because it's not 100% easy. No.
Exactly.
It's just a test to see how badly do you really want to see this plan happen, and what are you doing to make sure you're committed to this goal that you've set. Is it just a wish? Is it just a dream? Or do you have a strategy? So I love what you just said because it's so true. And, you know, my husband gets on me every year. It's time to do our taxes. And it's funny because, early entrepreneurship, things people don't talk about is you're not exactly profitable right away. Now, sometimes you have a business and it's super niche and people need it and you're in the right circles and they're funding you and it's great. And you may not know what I'm talking about, but I have a feeling that the majority of people know what I'm talking about. Where you're like, I got this business. You've done the SWOT analysis. You have everything going. And just for whatever reason, it just doesn't blow up right away, right? So I remember early
I was going to say, you don't make any money.
Yeah, or you had high income and high expenditures. That was me. So my husband's like, wait a minute. He's like, is this a hobby or a business? I'm like, do you not see the CEO behind my name? But you have to, as well-meaning as he was, and it's his job responsibly to look out for myself and our household. But I always think about those conversations early in our marriage and early in my company's history because it's so true. We can get caught up in our title of what's supposed to happen, and you have to be able to step back. And having a professional such as yourself is so important. Whether it's someone that you employ or someone that you contract or you have a service agreement with, it's very important to have those people that you're willing to listen to, those professionals, because as a business owner and as women too, like maybe you don't own a business but you're running a household, right? Like I'm kind of switching gears here to speak to this kind of woman, but before I had children, I still had a house cleaner. Because I'm gonna maintain what she does, but I still need someone else to come in because my focus wasn't there, right? It was just my job to make sure it happened. So you still need to be able to partner with people to create your desired outcomes, even if it's not you specifically. And those kind of things, whether it's in business or in household, a lot of times we're running our households like a business. We're just not getting paid. I always tell people I have 2 CEO positions. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of my company, and I'm the Chief Experience Officer of my family.
I love that. I love that so much.
It's true. The majority of the time, my family doesn't eat it, see it, do it, wear it, unless I'm involved.
Unless it comes to you. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so anyway, that's a whole other podcast for a different day, but the point is...
That is important.
Yeah, it's my job to make sure the things, happen. Do I wash cars? No, but am I going to call the auto detail guy to come to our house and make sure the cars get clean?
Absolutely.
So it's the same thing in your business, right? You don't need to do every single little thing. This is my business. This is my baby. Okay, it is. And sometimes the best interest for that baby is for someone else to take care of that specialty to make you look good. And I think
I'm glad you
have a hard time making that connection.
That I'm really, really glad that you kind of hit on that point because that is the biggest thing that we see. So first we always say like, I need some help, and I'm not sure what to do. So we'll give them a strategy. We'll create a whole content plan for them, and we'll basically detail out what we do. And then we give that to them, and then that's when they kind of step back. Because of course everyone comes like, oh no, I don't need you on a retainer basis. I just need a booklet, and I can do it myself. So we say, okay, create and give it to them, and then they go, oh, I need to get photos of this, and I need to record this, and I gotta post this on this day, and I gotta do it to this many platforms. And we're just like, this is what you asked for. And sometimes it's better to have, even if it's just one person, if you have someone who is comfortable, knowledgeable, and able to focus on one certain aspect of your business, it's better, even if it costs, it's better mental wise for you to focus on what you're good at and let them focus on what they're good at. Like I have a CPA. Can I do taxes? Do I have a finance background? I mean, yes, I have my MBA. I understand it 100%. Is that my specialty? No, it's not. So I need someone to say, hey, Antoinette, you have like XYZ that came in income this past month. You need to do LMLP to do some expenses to balance out this. Or when your quarterly payment comes up, you're going to be looking crazy. And so for someone to stay on top of that, like, yes, I can go into our QuickBooks and I can look at that as well. But I'm also focusing on 9,678,000 other things. And so it's better for me to have them focus on that aspect of business, even though I can do it. It helps the company flow and run so much better. So if there's ever a contractor that we work with and they say, hey, I haven't got the check or something like that, that doesn't have to be on me. That can be on someone else who's in that position. And so they can say, oh, like your email address was wrong, or the name that you put on like W9, it wasn't correct, or just anything like that. Mm-hmm. So being able for us to be that kind of help to other businesses is what we try to get them to understand, in the sense that we want to be a help. We don't want to be something that's a burden. And so anytime in business, you need to have some sort of marketing budget. Even if you're tiny, and even if it's like $20 a month or something like that, you need to have something in your business where you are actively pushing towards marketing. If that's just running a meta ad for a month and you got $1 a day in it and you're spending $30 a month, whatever you do, you need to be doing something, because if not, you're just hindering yourself and you're holding yourself back from what you could do in your potential audience and clientele and things like that. So yes, being able to understand the differences and the balance of when you need to hire help, when those things you need to focus on yourself, being able to differentiate the two is a really, really big step in business and growing your business.
Yes. All right. You don't just take my word for it. The Marketing Pro has told y'all, okay? You need to have someone, preferably it should be her. But, if for whatever reason you feel, it's unreachable, unattainable, like she said, just start, right? We're big on that here. You just have to start. You can always grow. And, Antoinette, do you offer consultations so that way someone so they can figure out, they might be curious and they may put up some automatic objections that maybe don't need to exist?
Yes, absolutely. You go to our website, there's the contact us form, and right when you go into there, you just put basic information: first name, last name, email address, and reach out to you, and we'll get you set up on like a calendar. Our consultations are free because I'm just a big believer that you need to understand something before you kind of put any kind of money behind it. So those consultations are only 15 minutes, and it's basically for us to understand what you're really looking for and what you're trying to get out of the digital marketing company. And so from there, we can kind of go into detail on what's the best, platform for you to use. Because some businesses, they are better on Instagram, whereas some businesses perform better on LinkedIn, whereas some businesses will do better on YouTube or Pinterest. So there's just so many platforms, like I said, that are out there that people don't really think about. And so that's where we're here for, to say, hey, you're doing, like, let's say color swatches, and you are trying to grow your business and doing prom gowns or bridal dresses or formal wear and you're a seamstress and you want to get your business out there. Instagram is not your platform. I just want to tell you that Instagram is not your platform. Your platform is Pinterest. Hands down, it's Pinterest. And it's Pinterest, one, because Pinterest is a search engine. It is essentially Google for creative. And that's what people don't understand about it. You don't have to have a following to be, to reach a large audience on Pinterest. And so people sleep on Pinterest all the time and they're not putting their ideas and, their masterpieces and things like that out there. And so that's what we're here for. This is what we do. We research, we look into different things. And so we're not just making a blanket template. So yes, go to the website, fill out the information, let's set up a time to chat, and then we can kind of move forward.
Wow. All right, y'all. If you are not absolutely 100% standing on business, confident level in your marketing and you're reaching your approach, then you need to click on the link in the description of this episode and get that consultation. Or you might be payment ready. Just go ahead and look, okay? But if you need that 15 minutes, take that 15 minutes. It is available to you. So true to form, the episode always goes by so fast, and we're at the part where it's now the final word. So what is the last thing you want to leave us with? What do you want the listeners to kind of marinate with and leave in the back of their minds as they go through the rest of their week?
Probably the thing that I started with is don't downplay yourself. If you have an idea that has been put on your heart, by God, you prayed about it, you really kind of consulted with like family and friends, and this is something that you feel like is what you need to be doing, do it. Take that next step. If you feel as though taking your business as far as it can go and that you need help with marketing, just do it. Because the longer you wait, the harder it's going to be to actually get you where you need to go, because you're going to have to backtrack you. So stick to what we know. You be the professional in your field. Let me be the professional in my field. And let's work together to kind of, push you where you need to be.
Awesome. Well, there it is right there. She said, you do you the best you can and let her do her so she can make you look good while you do you. I love it. Antoinette, thank you so very much just for spending your time with us, sharing your knowledge and your expertise and your perspective, having this candid conversation. We can't thank you enough for just your blessing into this community. I'm sure you have touched someone somewhere and really just lit that fire into them and say, you know what, dang, she's right. Let me go ahead. I know that these breakthroughs are happening. So y'all, if you experience this breakthrough, look in the description of this episode. You're going to want to follow Antoinette on Instagram at Hammond Marketing Co. You're going to want to go on her website. Just go ahead, just dive into all the things about her. You truly will not regret it. I am so grateful that y'all listened to this episode. I love y'all. More importantly, I'm so thankful that you love me, and keep your eyes open for the next episode. Thank y'all. Be blessed.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Crown Level Confidence Podcast. I hope you found inspiration and valuable insights that will help you on your path to unstoppable confidence. Remember, you have the power within you to achieve greatness and transform your life. Stay connected by subscribing to the podcast and following us on social media. If you're interested in being a featured guest on the show and sharing your journey of confidence and self-belief, visit KaliaJanae.com to connect with me. I'd love to hear your thoughts and stories, and I'm always excited to meet and showcase remarkable individuals, so don't hesitate to reach out. For details on speaking engagements, mindset coaching, or having a workshop in your office, again, head over to my website, KaliaJanae.com. And don't forget to leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback helps us reach more listeners and inspire others to wear their crowns proudly. All right, y'all, keep shining. Keep believing and keep leveling up. Until next time, wear your crown with pride and confidence. Take care.